The final Republican debate before the Iowa caucuses next month took place last night, and frontrunners Mitt Romney and Newt Gingrich fought off a bevy of attacks from their counterparts. So we want to get some insight on this, and who better to ask than our Washington editor, Al Hunt. Al, who came out as the winner from last night's round?
Probably Mitt Romney, because he really escaped a lot of criticism, and he didn't have to go on the attack against Newt Gingrich because others did it for him. Michelle Bachmann, Ron Paul, and to some extent Rick Santorum. It was really a rather steady barrage against Gingrich on all sorts of issues: Freddie Mac, his health care proposals, even abortion, and not a single shot was fired by Mitt Romney. So I think Romney came out the winner.
Okay, so if Romney came out the winner, who really did not help themselves last night?
Well, I'm not sure I would say that Gingrich didn't help himself, but he was on the defensive for too much of the evening, and Newt does better when he's on the offensive. When he did quite well last night. But some of that Freddie Mac stuff just won't go away, and there are a lot of social conservatives in the state of Iowa, and Michelle Bachmann may have scored a point or two on that. So I think it was at best a mediocre night for the frontrunner Newt Gingrich.
Okay, well, let's also look at what happened in Washington last night. It was a busy night for lawmakers. They finally agreed to a 2012 budget at a cost of about $1 trillion. Does this come to a win-win situation for everyone on Capitol Hill?
Oh, I don't know, win-win. I wouldn't go quite that far, Scarlet, but they got through. They can go home for Christmas. They're not going to infuriate their constituents by a government shutdown. On the budget side, the Republicans won. On the other issues, the extraneous issues they were trying to add, all the way from a pipeline to trying to cut the CFTC budget to cracking down on travel to Cuba, the Republicans yielded and the Democrats won.
And where does this leave the payroll tax cut? And it's kind of surprising here because Republicans are the ones holding this up, given that you would think they would be all up for any kind of tax cut.
Yeah, you would think that, when you sometimes need a scorecard in Washington. Watching sausage being made looks good by comparison. They're going to still fight over this for at least a couple days. Some of the same issues that we saw in the budget battle. They'll have to posture and score their points, and then they'll cut some kind of a deal at the end that's a compromise, but Obama will get his payroll tax holiday extension and unemployment benefit extension.
Okay, and you've got political capital as well. Anyone we should be on the watch out for?
Well, I sat down with Pete Sessions, who heads the House Republican Campaign Committee. I had on Steve Israel last week, who heads the Democratic Campaign Committee. Steve Israel predicted the Democrats would probably pick up around 25 seats. Pete Sessions says the Republicans will pick up about 16. So that 41-seat difference is what 2012 is all about in the House.
All right, Political Capital with Al Hunt, our Washington editor, will be airing right here on Bloomberg at 9 p.m. Eastern. Al, good to see you again. Have a great weekend.